Hello everyone, my name is Baronak, and welcome to this quick video on how to verify the sender of an email. I have done some research using real emails and using information provided by reputable companies. Let's dive right into this. First, let's define what a phishing email is. So, a phishing is a type of online scam that targets consumers by sending them an email that appears to be from a well-known source, an internet service provider, a bank, or a mortgage company, for example. It asks the consumer to provide personal identifying information. It could be a variety of things that this email is trying to ask a person. So let's define what is email spoofing, because in this video we're going to be focusing specifically on DKIM, the authentication method DKIM. We're not going to go into details about the cryptography behind it or anything like that. We're just going to go over it and how it works in the real world. So email spoofing is when an attacker uses a fake email address with the domain of a legitimate website. So what is spoofing in the context of an email? So spoofing in the concept of an email is cloning, faking, duplicating the domain portion of an email, claiming to be an identity that malicious user is not. So every single day we receive emails, but how can we verify that the sender is legitimate, that their identity is legitimate? How can we verify that? Well, we have three major authentication methods. Those are DMARC, DKIM, and SPF. As I mentioned, we're going to be focusing on DKIM this video. So together they help prevent spammers, phishers, and other unauthorized parties from sending emails on behalf of a domain they do not own. How does this domain look like? So this is an example: sales@examplecompany.com. The underlying portion is the email domain portion. So it could be sales@google.com or sales@xyzcompany.com. It could be anything. So they're trying to make themselves look legitimate. So how can we locate this email inside of Gmail to be able to see the details of the email, to see if it has one or three or two of the authentication methods we mentioned? So we open the email, we click on the three dots, we click on show original, and it will land us here. So the information is redacted because this is a real email I received from riotgames.com. So we can see that this email was signed at riotgames.com. And we can see that it passed the SPF, the DKIM, and the DMARC. We're going to be focusing on the DKIM. So it says pass with domain riotgames.com. What does this mean? This means that whoever sent the email owns the domain riotgames.com. But that does not mean that Riot Games actually sent this email. How so? Let me explain. So you can have something called a claimed identity. So always verify the claim identity owns the domain. Here we can see the real domain I just showed you and the fake domain. So let's just say I am a malicious user. So I buy this domain at companyriotgames.com and I start to send a bunch of phishing emails, but I'm not actually Riot Games, but I do own this domain. So whenever you verify, you will see that it actually passes the DKIM. Instead of saying fail, it says pass. And with domain company riotgames.com, you're like, well, it must be legitimate. Well, no, it could actually be fake. So how can I verify that Riot Games actually sent this email? So we can do a quick Google search. We can find a blog post from Riot Games. If we scroll down, we can see that it says, here are the domains Riot Games may contact you from. The following domains are valid worldwide. And we can see at riotgames.com. So without a shadow of a doubt, we know that if it's from riotgames.com, it is actually legitimate, and if it's signed against this domain. So if we check at companyriotgames.com, we will see that it returns 0. Riot Games doesn't actually own this domain, therefore we're looking at a phishing email. That is something you have to have in mind. And if you want to take a step further and verify that that domain is actually legitimate, you can also contact customer support. So you can Google a way to contact customer support, and using their legitimate ways of contacting customer support, you can try to see if they can give you information about the domains they own or verify the specific domain that sent you that email. As extra information, I did a test with a Gmail account I own and another Gmail account I own. So you can see it verifies with the 3 authentication methods, but this does not mean that the email is actually legitimate. So anybody with a Gmail account can verify the domain against gmail.com. It will do that automatically. So be very careful. Just because it says pass on the 3 authentication methods doesn't mean it's actually legitimate. I could be sending a phishing email to somebody with my Gmail account and it says pass on gmail.com. Obviously, I'm not trying to impersonate being Gmail, but it will verify that it'll show us pass. If it shows up as fail, that raises a red flag. That person doesn't actually own the domain xyz.com, and it could possibly be a phishing email. So in conclusion, it is advisable to check for spelling errors, a sense of urgency, and requests for credentials when examining potential phishing emails. Furthermore, understanding how the DKIM domain authentication method works is a step towards the right direction. I hope you found some value in this video. Thanks for watching.